Hi, thanks for joining me. So today I want to do a rant. I don't do these very often, but I feel that I'm in a unique position to have a strong opinion about this, and I can't not share that with you at this point because I think that it's important that people hear this. I want to start by saying that I'm not attacking collectors, really. Individual people that are just interested in having a game on their shelf that never came out in the region that you're in, just kind of have that experience. You can take it out of the box, put it in your system, and kind of just imagine that, oh, what if this had come out here? I totally get that. I'm even kind of on board with that. I know where you're coming from, and I just want to say that. I am, however, speaking to you, and I hope that you consider carefully what it is that I say. I have been involved in the fan translation community for over a decade, and in that time, I have had the honor of being able to work on at least one or two translation projects that were high profile enough that there are reproduction carts available of them. Now, the issues with this are many. For starters, just from the fan translation perspective, what we're doing isn't necessarily condoned. It's pretty gray area stuff, and it's what's essentially a derivative work. A fan translation would not exist without the original game. Now, because of that, when fan translators distribute the translation work, they're very careful to separate into a patch just the work that they have done. It's completely separate from the game data, and that may seem like kind of a trivial distinction to make, but I think it's an important one. The amount of work that goes into creating a translation patch is significant. These projects take months and years. You have people doing technical work on it, a lot of reverse engineering, pretty complicated stuff with knowing the processors from these old systems. You have people taking the time to play test these so that they come out well. You have people, editing the scripts so that they sound good, doing story writing, translating, all of the dialogue. This can be extremely time consuming, and if you've ever worked on a project, something that you're going to put out there to people, to the public, it takes a lot of work. Anybody that wants to fan translate a game just because they're like, oh, I'd really like to, be able to play this game in English that isn't in English, or whatever your language is, that's kind of how we all started. But to take that idea and that little desire and bring it to completion, to put the nail in that coffin of that project and have it done, that it takes dedication. It takes more work than you'd think, and it stops being fun. I think that's an important point to make, is that at some point in the process of a translation, it's not fun anymore. And I think you finish it because it gives you pride, because you enjoy kind of inherently the work that you're doing, and because you love the games. You might not even love the game that you're working on that much, but you grow to love the part of it that you helped to do. So the companies that made this game, that we wouldn't be able to play a fan translation of if it didn't exist, they they took on risk. They funded the creation of something. It wouldn't exist if they weren't willing to fund creative people, to risk their money on a thing that that they paid people's benefits. They gave people a salary so that they're feeding their families with it. And when they're done with that process, they own that thing. That thing does not belong to anyone else. It doesn't belong to me. Even if I love it and I want to to translate it or something, that original thing does not belong to me in any way. Now, what people that are making reproduction carts, if they're making reproduction carts of fan translations, and I assume that that's one of the main draws of it. I mean, the other thing I could see would be maybe if there's a game that's just really expensive or something, and you just want a cheaper cart of it or something like that. But the people that are making those, they did not take on any risk for that thing to get made. They didn't put in the months or years of work to to translate it, to test it, to make sure that to get that into a form that is how you want to play it. Basically, all they're doing, they're getting a little EEPROM burner and some old game that nobody cares about, and they're pulling the chip out and they're burning a ROM and putting that in and putting a label on it and making a box for it, and they're selling it to you. Think about who is winning here. Think about who is profiting. Because if this thing was like $5 or $10 or something like that you were getting these things for, that it might be a little bit of a different story. It would still be wrong. But if these people are selling these things for like $50 and more, think about yourself. You work hard for your money. I assume you do. Maybe you don't. But regardless, you have money, and it doesn't deserve to be wasted. You have stuff that you could spend that money on. The right thing in this situation, I'm not necessarily advocating this either, but if you are making your own reproduction carts, that's a different story. Get your own little EEPROM burner, burn your own ROMs, put them in old games that you don't need, make your own labels, make your own boxes, put them on your shelves, and enjoy them. Okay, some douchebag is profiting and making money, like reasonable money, your money, off of these reproduction carts, and I just want you to think about that. It's not right. It just isn't. Justify it to me however you want. It's not right. And I just want you to think about that, when you're considering buying one of these. I guess that's the end of my rant. Thank you very much for indulging me in this, and I hope you'll join me again for more videos. Thanks for watching.